How's it going, family? Welcome back to the channel. Man, has it been a whirlwind of a few hours, the last couple of hours, regarding some breaking news for the Saitama family. Unfortunately, Luckyroo has decided to sever ties with Saitama. In fact, Luckyroo will no longer be launching exclusively on Saitapro. Before we get into that conversation, let me remind you to go ahead and hit that like button. Also, hit the subscribe button with your notification bells turned on. That way, you will always be up to date on all the content that we put out. Guys, let's get into this conversation because we got a lot to discuss. One of the things I wanted to state before we do that, though, is this: everything that I'm going to be saying here, I said with pure objectivity, with no subjective emotions embedded at all. Not only that, everything that I'm going to be saying, I said out of love for everyone involved. My goal here is not to point blame or cast blame. My points here are not to cause further division between Luckyroo and Saitama. My goal here is just to simply state the facts and explain where those facts lead. Let's get into this, guys. I want to start off by taking us through a chain of events on what led up to our conversation around Luckyroo deciding to sever ties with Saitama and leave from being launched exclusively on the Saitapro app. There was a tweet that came out yesterday evening on September 27th, yesterday evening around 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That tweet came from Luckyroo, the Luckyroo official Twitter, and it simply said, "Hey, Roof Troop, amazing news. Luckyroo's launch date is locked in. We will be launching on the 20th of October on Uniswap and PancakeSwap. Join us for an AMA with Scott Herman at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time." Now, that tweet came out, and as you can imagine, it took Twitter by storm. It caused so much confusion amongst the Saitama family, me included. Because the reason why this caused so much confusion is because we had an AMA scheduled today with the Saitama developers. In fact, the AMA that was scheduled today to be held today included all of the other projects that were going to be a part of the Saitama ecosystem in terms of being listed or either launched exclusively on Saitapro. So we were left wondering, like, what in the world is going on? And the timing of this was very, very peculiar, I may say. Again, objectively, we're just stating facts here, but the timing could not have been worse and could not have been more interesting. Let's continue on, guys. So, the AMA with Scott Herman was held at 8 p.m. I tuned into that AMA, and what I walked away with from the AMA was that Luckyroo had been contemplating this decision for quite a while. So this wasn't anything new from Luckyroo's perspective in terms of them wanting to go ahead and cut ties with Saitama. So during this AMA with Scott Herman specifically asked the developer from Luckyroo point blank, "Why did you decide to move on?" And Luckyroo basically simply said that it's taking too long and that Saitama was not ready for them to be launched on the Saitapro app. And they did not want to delay that launch any longer. You take that as you may. I'm just stating the facts. Now, as we continue to move on here, shortly after the AMA concluded, there was a tweet that came out from the developers of Saitama. This was their official statement. And this statement came from their official Twitter. And it simply said this: "We are dismayed by the news tonight that Luckyroo team has decided to end their partnership with Saitama. They have chosen to no longer launch on Saitapro, and therefore we won't appear in tomorrow's AMA with other partners. We are thankful for the support and we wish them luck." Guys, what I wanted to show you next is the fallout that happened after Luckyroo tweeted their tweet initially. We can see that people said this deserves an unfollow. Good luck, Luckyroo. Hopefully, you explain what happened with Saitapro and Saitama. Another project that used Saitama. I'm not going to read this because we don't use explicatives on this channel. It's a family friendly show, but you can see what it said. Another person said, "That's beyond disappointing. I would have liked some type of statement instead of, 'Hey, we're launching on this place.' We said we weren't for the entire time. 100% thought the same could have been done nicer. Could have been announced more professionally, in my opinion. Classic bait and switch and betrayal. Saitapro is more than capable to handle any token launch. Bye, Felicia. My chips are all in on Mazimatic. Unbelievable. Now, what I want to do next, guys, is talk about some positives and talk about, unfortunately, some negatives. And for this, I'm going to be referring to some notes that I wrote because this is late breaking news, guys, and I wanted to get this news to you as soon as possible. But just stick with me here, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Is that okay? Now let's get into this. Some of the positive things here to note is Luckyroo, they aim to be the industry disruptor when it comes to casino gambling and sports betting because they are bringing this technology into the metaverse, leveraging the blockchain and crypto. Luckyroo did stand by Saitama's side from the very beginning. If you guys been around the Saitama project for quite a while, you'll know that when everybody was giving up on Saitama, when everybody was doubting Saitama, Luckyroo was the one that said, hey, we believe in you, Saitama. We believe in you, Saitama Wolfpack family. We believe in you, developers of Saitama. We believe in you, Saitapro. They were there through all of the debacle with the Saitama's app that never worked. And despite the Saitama's app not working, Luckyroo made a statement and they said, hey, we stand firm with Saitama. We are family. We are all Saitama. So let's look at some negative things about this. In my opinion, the manner by which Saitama was made aware that Luckyroo was no longer going to be launching exclusively on the Saitapro app, in my opinion, that manner that was handled was completely, and I say this objectively, guys. I'm just telling it like it is. That's what we do on this channel. But the manner in which Luckyroo made that known to the community was totally unprofessional. I'm gonna pause here because I need you to feel what I'm saying here. Because as you can sense, I'm kind of frustrated because it's kind of like, guys, you've been with us the whole entire time. Why all of a sudden change course? But all of that being said, it was done completely unprofessional. Enough said about that. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out is the timing of that announcement was horrible. I repeat, horrible. And the reason that timing was horrible is because not only did Saitama have a joint AMA scheduled for today, which was just a few hours later than when Luckyroo came out and made that shocking announcement saying they're no longer going to be We Are Saitama. That's only a few hours. What was stopping them from waiting to the AMA or at least letting Saitama come out and announce this to the community? No, instead, Luckyroo decided to come out and say, hey, we're done with Saitama. That's it. And oh, by the way, we got an AMA tonight with Scott Herman Crypto, who has not necessarily been on Saitama's side as of late. Not as of late. Saitama has lost a lot of influencers, good or bad, good reasons, bad reasons. You know, I'll let you make that decision. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm being objective. But the point is, we have seen this music again and again. It's the same song, different sheet of music, where Saitama has extended an olive branch to influencers, where Saitama has extended an olive branch to other projects, and things of this nature occur. Again, I'm not pointing fingers. I am being completely objective. Now, does Luckyroo have the right to decide not to launch exclusively on Saitapro? Yes. Was the manner in which Luckyroo presented the news about their decision to no longer have a relationship with Saitama specifically being launched on Saitapro, was that done appropriately? In my opinion, no. In business, there are ways to do things tactfully. And in my opinion, I do not believe that was done with a tactful manner. Now, we move on, guys. Luckyroo mentioned that they had been contemplating making this decision to not go forward with launching exclusively on the Saitapro app for quite a while. Those are the words out of the developer's mouth of Luckyroo, verbatim. Well, maybe not verbatim, but those were the words essentially from his mouth during the AMA yesterday with Scott Herman Crypto. So my question is this. If you had been contemplating that, if you knew things were going south in your mind with the relationship between your project Luckyroo and Saitama's Saitapro app and their ability to handle a launch or an exclusive launch of your token on their platform, why did you continue on with the NFT sale to what I would think, and I would go ahead and step out on a limb and say were the majority of Saitama Wolfpack community members that participated in that NFT sale that made the Luckyroo token a lot of money. They raised a lot of capital from on the backs of Saitama. Again, objective, just stating the facts. I'm not putting my opinion in this right here. These are just facts. There was an NFT sale held. Saitama is the reason people know about Luckyroo. Saitama community took Luckyroo under its wings to spread the word. They shielded Luckyroo for a betterment of almost 1 year. That is the reason why people are noticing Luckyroo. That is the reason why Luckyroo was able to have a successful NFT launch. It's because it was on the backs of the Saitama Wolfpack family. Those are the facts, guys. Let's just call it the way it is. Those are the facts. People need to stick to the facts. People need to tell the truth and be honest with each other about what happened. Now, has Saitama made a lot of mistakes in the past? Yes. Were the developers ignorant in the past on some things they've done? Yes. Do you know what ignorant means? It just simply means not knowing. That is the definition of ignorance. I know ignorance has a negative connotation, right? And in some instances it should. But the very nature of what ignorance means, it just simply means not knowing. These developers were new in crypto. They were new to this. So all of the mistakes that Saitama made under the version 1 contract, those mistakes were overridden by and Saitama redeemed himself through V2 by the launching of the utilities that were promised to us, the community, long ago, over a year ago. They have been delivering on their promises. What more do you want? What more can you ask for? After all, we are in a bear market. However, the Saitama developers continue to work feverishly and relentlessly, and they continue to work to help the Saitama community see the fruits of their investment and the fruits of their labor. So, yes, I think Saitama Wolfpack family has every right to be disgusted and upset at what transpired. Again, not with the decision, in my opinion, now I'm being objective, not in this decision of Luckyroo to part ways with Saitama, but the manner in which they communicated that decision was completely horrible. It was done horribly. That's just the facts, guys. Now, let's move on here. Luckyroo, as I mentioned, became popular on the backs of Saitama. Luckyroo is known because of Saitama. Now, what I want us to do is to look at some pricing action for the Saitama community because obviously, as you can imagine, there was some fallout from this decision of Luckyroo. A lot of people were getting into Saitama because, hey, when you're being told that Luckyroo is going to launch exclusively on Saitapro and you need to be a holder of Saitama or you need to be able to use Saitapro app in order to purchase Luckyroo, that drew a lot of investors to Saitama. Let's just be real, guys. So it wasn't just Saitama helping Luckyroo out, it was also Luckyroo, somewhat, if we be honest, drawing more eyes to Saitama because people were understanding that Luckyroo was coming out with technology that involved casino gambling and sports betting in the metaverse. And the only way to take advantage of that and get a piece of that pie is for you to use Saitapro. So yes, if we be honest with ourselves, that helped Saitama as well. Now, let's look at some pricing action, guys. As we look at this, at the time of this recording, we can see that Saitama is sitting at 2 Satoshis 12 level. After that news came out, you can see that Saitama went on a nosedive. They had a huge sell-off, and we dropped all the way down to 2 Satoshis 11, possibly even less than that. But the Saitama family does what it does best. It ate those dips, and as you can see, the Saitama Wolfpack family is in the process of eating that dip even more. Now, this is on a 4-hour chart, so that's why it's not moving so rapidly here. But you can see we are already making inroads to go back to where we were, to shake those paper hands out that sold off when that news broke. Now, here is my opinion on what happened to cause Luckyroo. Again, my opinion, based on the facts that I presented to you, based on the timeline of events, based on the peculiar timing of this news that broke about Luckyroo washing their hands, essentially cutting ties with being listed and launched exclusively on the Saitapro app. This is my opinion, guys. I feel that Luckyroo realized that they were up against a major competitor. And you want to know who that major competitor is? It's none other than Mazimatic. Yes, I said it. Mazimatic. I was looking through Mazimatic's website. Let's go over here and take a look at this. I was looking at Mazimatic's website. And first off, you see Mazimatic, they say they are going to be the world's first multi-entertainment metaverse. Not just casino gambling, but multi-faceted, multi-talented, multi-abilities crypto in the metaverse. What does that mean? Let's look at this. If we scroll down, we can see that Mazimatic, they're going to be versatile. They are going to play a role in the casino metaverse, partyverse, adventureverse, influencerverse, the trading floor where you can trade Forex and things of that nature. Think about it. From a business standpoint, wouldn't you want to be the first to market if you knew this other company had a similar product that they were coming out with that could potentially be a threat to your business case? Think about it. We're being objective, guys. We just call it the way it is here on the crypto stream. We just keep it real, guys. After all, this is crypto. This is business. It's the wild, wild west. People are in crypto to do what? To make money. Feelings and emotions are removed in crypto, and it should be in any type of investment, whether it be stock or crypto. But that's another conversation. We're sticking to the facts, guys. So I'm of the opinion that Luckyroo saw the writing all over the wall about the competition they were going to get from Mazimatic. Now, as we dive into this more, when we go into this casino verse, they're going to get into online casinos, guys. Online casinos. That is essentially the same exact thing with a few exceptions that Luckyroo was targeting. Yes, Luckyroo is going to have their weekly airdrops and all that good stuff. Yes. Those are just things that are there for added bonuses. But when you get down to the root of what Luckyroo's go-to-market strategy and what Luckyroo's their utility is for investors, it's basically centered around casino gambling in the metaverse. And that's exactly what Mazimatic is seeking to do as well. So again, that first point I made, just to reiterate, they wanted to be the first in the crypto industry. They wanted to be the first in the market to set the trend in casino gambling. They wanted to go ahead and beat Mazimatic to that. And by launching on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, they can do just that. Number two, they felt, in my opinion, they, meaning Luckyroo, the development team at Luckyroo, the leadership at Luckyroo, probably felt that they would not be receiving the same treatment in terms of the care of their project, the handling of the launching, all of those things that go along with being listed on Saitapro that we, the investors, don't know about, but maybe technical in nature or things behind the scenes that the developers of Saitama are aware of. Luckyroo, felt that, you know, the Mazimatic project has close ties. The development team for Mazimatic has close ties to the development team of Saitama. Let me explain. Take a look at this, guys. Let me explain. So we go here and we take a look at this on Mazimatic's website, right? And we go here and we go to their team, their development team. What do you see here? You see this guy by the name of MK, who is the CFO and also a co-founder of Mazimatic? He is also one of the developers for Saitama. So as you can see, what's going on in Luckyroo's mind at this point, they're thinking to themselves, they're like, oh my gosh, you know what? These people not only are going to be competitors to us, but the developer for Saitama, one of the developers on Saitama's team, is also one of the developers and co-founders, by the way, of Mazimatic. Will we be treated the same, or will Mazimatic get preferential treatment? That's point number 2, guys. Now, number 3, it just made no sense. And this is not really an opinion of what really happened. This is more so just me reiterating the facts here. It made absolutely no sense. No sense. Absolutely no sense whatsoever as to why Luckyroo would choose to come out, make an announcement about an AMA that no one knew about abruptly on the day of the AMA was being held that evening, just a few hours later at 8 p.m., which was yesterday, right? Which was Tuesday, the 27th, I believe, the 27th of September. That's correct, 2022. And say, hey, we got a date. It's October XYZ. Oh, and by the way, there's an AMA tonight with Scott Herman Crypto. Come on, family. Come on in. Come one, come all. Oh, everybody, let's tune in. Hoorah. Let's do this. That was just simply unprofessional. And that timing and in the manner that was delivered, it clearly took the Saitama development team by surprise. They say that it did. We're just going to trust the Saitama development team is being honest with us. After all, a man's word is his bond. So we're just going on what was stated, right? We're being objective. That's what we're doing. Now, to make this closing argument on this conversation here, what I man, this is tough, guys. What I wanted to do is just say this. I'm not trying to point fingers, as my goal is to remain objective in this content. But there is a saying that goes like this: perception is everything. Let me repeat that. Perception is everything. Just like I said before, a man's word is his bond. And I don't mean physically a man. I mean a human, a person, a lady, a woman. You know, you get the point. Perception is everything. And, you know, Saitama took Luckyroo into its heart, into its soul. Saitama, they shield Luckyroo just as hard, if not harder in some cases, than this own native token of Saitama Insider Realty. In fact, I can truly say objectively, it appeared that the Saitama Wolfpack family shield Luckyroo more than Mazimatic. And Mazimatic has the same development team member as Saitama. How does that go for objectivity from the Saitama community? To each his own in this decision that Luckyroo made. After all, it's a business decision, they say. You know, we can only speculate what brought about this abrupt decision from, and I'm saying abrupt because the manner it was delivered, the news wise, it was delivered to all of us in the community was abrupt and unprofessional. I have love still for both communities because my goal is not to sow despair or any type of confusion more than it already is between the two communities. Crypto is large enough for everyone to win. Everyone can win in this crypto game. I always say the goal for you is to always create generational wealth for you and your family. That's the only goal I have for you, family, is to do what you need to do to create generational wealth, not riches, not to be rich. Rich can go broke. Generational wealth. That's what we preach on this channel. So the decision that you may ask me for is, should you invest in Luckyroo? I'm not here to tell you if you should or should not invest. That is your decision. I've only laid forth the facts on what occurred, in my opinion, just objective facts, or what possibly and what more than likely occurred to cause Luckyroo to sever ties with being launched exclusively on the Saitapro app. Now, the decision is yours as to whether or not you want to continue to support Luckyroo or you want to continue to support Mazimatic or both. You know, that's your decision. But advice for Luckyroo's development team is, if you want to be well received in this industry, if you want people to have trust in you, the things that you do like this is what hurts the trust of the community that made you who you are. And that is the Saitama Wolfpack family. That's what that is. And so hopefully the Saitama development team comes out with some more details during today's AMA. They may not address it, I don't know, but I'm of the opinion they do need to speak on this in more detail, versus just leaving it at this short thing that they put out here on Twitter. I do think that there needs to be some more discussion around this, because there are some questions that need to be answered. There is a lot of questions that the community has for Saitama, the Saitama development team, as well as Luckyroo. And I believe that, like I said before, crypto is large enough for everyone to win. Everybody can eat in these streets, guys. Let's stop being cutthroat. Let's love on one another. Let's join hands and make crypto better. We can do it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Crypto Stream. Remember to go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. We would love to have you to be a part of our family. We'll talk to you guys real soon.